Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Greenleaf Season 4, Episode 6, I believe it is. 5 or 6, it'll be right on the screen, y'all. Niggas stressed out a little bit. This budget is kicking my ass. Y'all, my old brain, it don't, this computer shit, I'm stressed out. I'm gonna try to get Top of the Blogs up this evening tonight. I gotta record that tonight or this afternoon or this evening when I get off of work because I just don't have time. I gotta hurry up and get back to the office. It don't even matter. You guys don't feel like hearing all of that. Yeah. The review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with that dumbass Charity. She's so fucking annoying. Talking to the baby, okay? Your mama's gonna be the associate pastor. Oh, she's got big dreams, big hopes. Okay, her and sidekick Phil gonna make it happen. Grace comes in there and was just like, did you call Noah? And she was like, yeah, what's the problem? And Grace was like, nothing, I'll talk to you later. And she was like, wait a minute, no, now I wanna know what's wrong. I gotta make sure you're okay, or whatever she said. Grace was like, why would you call him? You know that our history is not necessarily the best, and then you would mention something to him knowing that his wife would hear it. She was just like, well, how was I supposed to know that, the wife would have a problem with me calling? The bitch, let me just tell you something. Grace was like, you ruined somebody's marriage. Now she has left him, or she kicked him out, and he's moving back to Memphis. And Charity was like, well, there's no way that she could have known that. Bitch, you would have known that if you had any damn sense in that mindless, tiny little brain of yours. What is wrong with Charity? She's stupid. But she did know she was fucking up when she did it, you guys. So we can't even give her that pass. So after Grace leaves her, and I was like, Grace, you better than me, because I at least tried to push her real hard, And that Charity is kind of hefty, I don't know how that might have turned out, but, it's just like somebody needs to knock her block off. Anyway, later on we see her, she's in the bed watching the sermon, and she's feeling guilty of all things. I said, girl, are you really feeling guilty about this? So she goes and talks to her co-music director, the guy, at the church, and she's just telling them how she broke up this marriage, basically. And he was like, well, the easiest thing to do about that is turn away from the sinner that's making you do the things that you do. We'll get back to Charity's dumb ass in a little bit. Now we see Jacob. I can't keep calling these people dumb. Jacob is praying to God that he uses him in the best way he can, just to know that he's doing the right thing, whatever he has. You know how that prayer goes. After he says amen, we see our old evil ass Zora mama. Okay, remember, she's happy now. She goes to Lady May, and she has the nerve, I should say, to ask for the furniture. I was like, girl, are you kidding me? May was like, girl, you guys took the furniture last time and then you left it at the house for them Nigerians to sell on eBay. No. This is going to be a perfect opportunity, since you guys are so hot and ready to get the hell up out of this house. Go in and buy your own furniture. So while she's sitting there talking to May, Bishop comes in with Corinne. Bishop is so wrapped up in what he's doing, he don't even notice that there's a little bit of tension over there. But he says he's preparing for his trip to Atlanta. You guys know how May feels about that. Poor Bishop, he just misses preaching, that's all. Later on, Bishop come and tell Lady May to let Jacob and Zora mama take the furniture. I was like, and then the bitch had the nerve to, after I told her no, you best not go and ask my husband, can you fucking take the furniture? Bitch, I said no. I don't give a fuck what he said. Now you trying to cause problems with us because we about to start arguing about this shit after I done already said it. Lady May's whole thing was just like, she ain't taking the furniture and you don't need to go to Atlanta. We're going to have this back and forth pretty much this whole episode of her trying to get him not to go. Bishop was like, I already told him that I would. Okay. And she was just like, well, I already told Zora mama that she couldn't take the furniture, but yet here we are. Lady May goes on and on about how, them ladies don't like her and he's going to do something and she don't want him to go. She needs his support here. And, Bishop is still set. He is going to Atlanta. It's just one Sunday. Now, we see Grace talking to sidekick Phil. And, Grace really don't have much patience these days. Her daughter is all out of pocket. Her son is over there, she got him over there stuck in the corner trying to stay a secret. She ain't got much time for Sidekick Phil and his foolishness. But he comes up to her and tells her that they need to take this homeless program that Jacob is trying to, have the church pay for. And need to take it off because, there's no money in it and blah, 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 blah. She was just like, we've been doing it every year. No, there's no reason why we need to take it off. And he was like, well, I'm just trying to warn you ahead of time. It's not going to get passed by the board. And she was just like, okay, well, consider myself warned. All right. Thank you for your services. Okay. Shout out to Shawnee. She goes in her office and AJ is in there. Okay. And she was just like, what are you doing here? And he was just like, I need some money. And she was just like, listen, I don't know how to say this without it sounding rude. So I'm just going to go on and say it. Like, you cannot be here. And he was like, don't worry, I'm not going to blow up your spot or nothing. He was looking at the pictures. Oh, this is the family. I wonder what they are. I always wonder what they looked like. He's looking around their office and everything. Grace is just trying to get him out of there. So she was like, digs in her purse and gives it to him really fast. And then she was just like, so how's the job search going? In other words, are you even looking? And he was like, it's going. And she was like, well, do you need me to make any phone calls? And he was like, listen, I'm not a charity case. I'm thinking to myself, you're saying that while you're asking her for money. So while they're sitting there talking, Sidekick Phil comes in. Of course, he's trying to regulate. He is so annoying. I used to love him on, what show was he on? What was it? The show with on BET. What the fuck was the name of the show? I can't even think of it. Anyway, the college school college show. Anyway, he's letting Grace know that Aaron is there, her lawyer. He kind of seemed like he want to know what it's about, but damn it, none of your fucking business, okay? He looking at AJ like, who is that? But damn it, none of your business. He was like, have you seen Corinne? And she said, yes, she's helping my father. And he was like, oh, well, that means she took a day off because your father doesn't work for this church anymore. And she was like, she's helping me. Will you go some fucking where? What did Bishop call him? Rochester. Anyway, after she finishes dealing with Sidekick Phil, AJ leaves. She got to do something to help him. Anyway, she goes and talks to Aaron. So, Aaron is handling her money affairs from their dad and all of that. Looks like you got it all situated. It's all straight. You all good. No more money problems for Grace. Then she asked him about possibly talking to a young boy that she knows that, needs his help, just needs to be able to talk to somebody, have a little bit of direction. He needs it probably from a male figure. And Aaron says, yeah, if it's for you, yeah, anything, that's fine. So he has AJ down to his office. And he's just asking AJ about himself. And, AJ is just kind of trying to tell him about his life without telling him too much. And AJ was like, you can go on and say it. AJ says, it feels like the whole world is fake. It just feels like it's fake, like nothing is real right now. Aaron figures he's talking about Grace, and he says, no, Grace is the real deal. Okay? And AJ says, is she really? And he says, yeah. He said, I've seen Grace, literally take the shoes off her feet and give it to somebody, a complete stranger. She's always out there giving of herself to people that she doesn't even know, for her family and everything. Okay, so while he's telling AJ that, AJ is getting this look on his face. I couldn't quite read it at first, but he walks out. He asks, can I go to the restroom? And he walks out of the room. Like I said, still trying to figure AJ out, but this episode actually made me figure him out a little bit better. Now let's jump over to Zora. Zora gets a call from Dante's girlfriend. What that child name was, I don't remember. But anyway, she's telling her, girls, a lit party down here. Dante just got this, that, and the other. You need to come on down. This lit is happening. This what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Zora gets dressed and she goes down to the party. It is a lit party. Everybody there's drinking and who knows what else. And it looks like they're trying to get Zora to do it too. I said, girl, don't get up in there and get to acting no fool, getting high and drunk. Now, Charity goes and finds Sidekick Phil, and she tells him, listen, I cannot do this anymore. If you need for this to happen, it can't be, at the cost of me taking down my sister. And he's kind of asking, like, what happened? She said, well, I broke up Noah's marriage. And he says, Noah, isn't that the guy that Grace used to be with a long time ago? And she says, yeah. And she called the house, and now they've broken up. And he was like, well, then that means that obviously they were still having an affair because nobody breaks up over one visit. And Charity is like, it still doesn't matter. Whatever the issue is there, I'm not going to be involved. I'm not doing it anymore. I said, look at old dummy trying to have some backbone now that she's ruined somebody's marriage, even though that shit probably was hanging on a thread. But that's neither here nor there. Of course, Sidekick Phil tries to press her for it, but she was like, I will not lift the rock to see what's underneath. Okay, meaning she's out. But of course, he finds her later and he's like, I think you got the wrong impression of me. Let me take you to dinner tonight. We can sit down and we can talk. At first she's all, get behind me, Satan. But then, of course, him and his soft voice and him telling her that, he can explain the reason that he is the way he is. Let's just sit down and have dinner. You guys know that child needs some loving. I'm sure them damn loins was heating up down there. So she was like, okay, I'm going to go on and go to dinner with them. Meg tells Bishop that she spoke to Bob. She told him that they didn't want to have the white folks down there to the church. And you know what? Unlike Bishop, she's doing what she needs to do around there. Bishop was just like, listen, you just don't understand, okay? I am a pastor, all right? Right now, I'm feeling unwanted. Basically, Bishop just wants to have one more Sunday to just feel the way that he normally felt on Sundays when he preached at his church, that he has to sit in the congregation now and watch his daughter preach every Sunday. Lady May was like, you talk about being unwanted. Okay, she was unwanted for years. He was messing around with Mavis and all these countless other women, and she had to grin and bear it. So, she don't want to hear nothing about him feeling unwanted right now. He was like, you're bringing up all of that, and not once have I mentioned Lionel. Damn it, I'm talking about preaching and you talking about affairs around here. But I guess you know what? All is fair in love and war. When you fighting, you just bring up whatever works. No, he was just sort of like, you a piece of work, Miss Lady May. Lady May was just like, listen, if you want to go to Atlanta, just go on and go then. Okay, because obviously I can't stop you. Now, Jacob is talking to the board about this homeless program. And, he got it all situated exactly the way he wants. Sidekick Phil over there, sideline hating. He ain't saying nothing, but he got this look on his face like, this ain't gonna go through. All right. While he's trying to tell the board about, what's gonna happen in this program, basically it's not that expensive. And, we're just trying to get people into the church. But his phone keeps ringing. All right. And he sees that it's Zora. So he ignores it a couple of times, but she just keeps on calling. So he was like, excuse me, I got to take this call. So he walks on out and he answers the phone like, hey, baby, what is it? And she was like, please say you don't get mad. Whenever somebody start like that, you get real mad, especially if they keep on saying like, what the fuck happened? Okay. She said that she's at a party at Dante's and it's really out of control, that he needs to hurry up and get there. All right. And he just leaves out. Did you not think to maybe poke your head back in the office and be like, hey, I got an emergency, I'll be right back? He just leaves. So Grace has to actually take over the rest of the meeting. And it turns out that the board approves the program. So when they leaving now, there goes Sidekick Phil. He jealous. Okay. You just ain't got no pull around there at all, Sidekick Phil. Okay. You doing all the work and not getting none of the joy out of it. So Jacob rushes to the party. It's popping. Okay. He rushing there. Zora's like, there you go over there. Dante about to throw the fat flag into the fire. All right. And Jacob was like, listen, you don't want them problems. Let's just calm it down. But when you hyped up on whoever knows whatever the hell Dante been drinking and taking, he not listening. Well, next thing you know, a fight starts. All right. And Jacob is in the middle of it, trying to get control of it. But he's all in the melee as well. People, of course, got their phones out. They taking videos. Zora's sitting there looking like, oh, my God. And you already know that this is not going to be good for Jacob. Is this something that he was praying for? Child, the Lord will definitely give us something that we did not expect, right? Now, Grace, because she's been calling AJ and he hasn't answered his phone, I forgot to tell you guys that Aaron had called her and let her know that he was talking to AJ. He went to the bathroom and he never came back. He just disappeared. So I guess she was a little perturbed about that. So she goes by his apartment finally and he opens the door and she was like, answer your damn phone. Like, I've been calling. And he was like, my phone is dead. Okay. And she comes in and she was like, what is wrong with you? Okay, why did you just leave when you were talking to Aaron? And AJ's whole thing, and it made it so clear to me because I was not thinking this way, but AJ's whole thing was like, he is tired of everybody saying how perfect Grace is, how gracious Grace is, how she helps everybody, how she's always there. You know, she's even telling him she's gonna be there for him, yet and still, she gave away her child. Okay, nobody cares because nobody knows that he went through all kinds of hell fighting and trying to stay alive and making sure that he can eat and having to deal with crazy foster parents and all of this. He's over here living his worst life while Grace is over here living her best life. Okay, and he was like, if I would have sat there and listened to him say anything else more, positive about you, I was gonna tell him exactly who you were. Okay, so I figured I better leave before it was a situation there. While I was sitting there watching it, me and Mr. was watching it, and he was just like, he's in so much pain. Why won't she tell anybody? And I was like, exactly, because I told you guys a long time ago, she should have been told, at least Lady May. Okay, the fact that she's trying to hold this all in, girl, you making the matter even worse. Because obviously the boy is feeling rejected. You know, he's a secret in this town. She's taking care of him, but, so he just basically tells her, listen, you can keep your money. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll find a job. I'll pay my own rent. Don't come back here. Don't call me no more. Just forget about the whole thing. And, of course, she's trying to talk to him about it. And he says, listen, the next person who asks me who I am, I'm going to tell them. Like I said, Grace, she made this matter so much worse than it had to be, because how long do you think you're going to have this boy around and not let nobody know? At least your family. Do you not think that your family would support you? Yes, your family is crazy, but Lady May wants that church so bad. She would have figured out a way to accept that boy in, and y'all kept that as a secret. As a family, at least he would have his family around him, okay, if nobody else knew. But this whole thing that she's been doing, I was just like, and it really is Grace's need to be seen as perfect in everybody's eyes. Okay, she cannot admit this flaw. At first I was feeling like, because she was just ashamed of a mistake that she made when she was 18 years old. Of course, she's using the excuse that she wants them to do it when the church, when they get the church back. But I feel like deep down inside, Grace does not want to be known as, like her daughter said, just as bad as everybody else. So she messed that shit up, though. That thing with AJ, that was a mistake. So anyway, back at the house, Bishop, he's watching a sermon. There's a whole bunch of people watching sermons on this episode. But he's watching the episode that's talking to God about the things that you need and waiting on his answer. So, that's that. The camera jumps over to Lady May, who's in her bed. She's just reading her magazine or whatnots. And here goes Zora Mama, okay? She was like, Bishop told me about the furniture. Lady May was just like, girl, first of all, I don't appreciate you going and saying something to him when I had already told you no, okay? But damn it, it is furniture, okay? Go and get some credit and buy your own damn furniture. What is the big damn deal? I'm thinking to myself, hell, y'all made all this money off of this sale of this land anyway, so why you need to take my furniture and I need to keep on replacing it? And then if they move, they gonna leave that shit behind too. Like I'm telling you, there ain't nothing worse than some niggas that just leave shit. When niggas ain't got they don't have no value or no worth or nothing. They just leave they shit behind. Every time they move, they get new furniture. Like, no. Pack the shit up and take it with you. That means that you didn't even care about that stuff. So I'm 100% with Lady May. Zora Mama was like, it's not even about the furniture. Okay. She said, I wrote something down, but I think it would have been better if I brought it to you and said it in person. Lady May was like, oh, here we go. What is it, child? Okay. Zora Mama goes into this whole speech about how, when her and Jacob got together, all she wanted was for Lady May to like her, but she never did. Her mother treated her like she was competition. So she just really wanted to make sure that she had May's approval, and she could never be good enough. But let me tell you something, all right? Nobody around here sees Grace's flaws more than I do. However, everything that's happened around here, whether it is Mac, whether it is Faith walking into that water, whether it's Bishop going to jail, losing the church, all of it is because of you. And if you knew that, you would be over in the corner, humble in a sackcloth and ashes. I said, girl, Lady May ain't gonna never be that, okay? Instead of walking around here like you were a grand float in the Rose Parade. I said, bitch, now you getting there. You can tell Lady May was over there. She was all breathing and shit. I said, it's coming. Then she said, you are a rusty old jalopy with a corpse in the trunk. Why'd she say that? Lady May slapped her. She was like, you don't have to worry about me anymore because I'm leaving. And May was like, you get out of here. Get out of this room. I would have been like, bitch, get the fuck out of my house. She was like, that's fine, I'm leaving, and you will never see me again. And I will send Jacob and the kids over here like they were visiting the grave. I said, ain't you big timing? I am done with your shit, Lady May. All right? So they all breathing hard and right up in each other's face, and then here come Bishop. Hey! Did you guys make up? No, Lady May was like, we came to an understanding, okay? She looked over at Zora's mama and said, shh, like, don't you say shit, okay? Then all of a sudden, Zora's mama was all happiness again, hey, Bishop, gives him a hug, tells him good night. And Lady May, after she walks out the room, Lady May was like, if you came in here to go off on me about some shit, please do not do that right now. And he says, no, that's not why he's there. He thought about it. I guess he had this talk with God and he realized that Lady May was right and he was wrong, okay? He's going down there to Atlanta trying to fill some glory days or whatever when really he is needed there. He figured that it's him just trying to run away from the problems that's happening there, just so that he can feel something in Atlanta, and it was wrong and May was right, and so he kisses her forehead and she starts crying and he was just like, why are you crying? He said, we'll buy some more furniture. And she was just like, it's not the furniture, She's just so relieved that finally somebody around there is listening to her. And he was just like, well, what is it? And she was just like, it's nothing, okay? It's nothing. And girl, it is nothing. And you gonna have the final say on that one because, that's Zora mama. She was big and bad, wasn't she? She had a whole lot to say to May. Could have just slid it to her in the paperwork, but instead wanted to say it in person. Okay, I wonder if she called her a rusty old jalopy in the paper. So anyway, she in her bathroom, she taking off her makeup like, ooh, this is gonna be the last time that I got to be fooling around in this house. And then Jacob come in there looking all dejected. She said, the board meeting must have went long. And he was like, no, I wasn't at the board meeting. You didn't see the news? And she was like, no. He said, it's been all over the news and social media and everything. You haven't seen anything? She was like, no, what happened? He said, Dante got into a big fight and I got fired by the Red Devils. I was like, that, ma'am, is called counting your chickens before they hatch, okay? That is called burning bridges. That is called writing a check that your ass can't cash. And any other idioms that you want to come up with, that is what you fucking get, okay? You done sat up there and did all of this before you even knew if you was moving for sure. Why wouldn't you wait until you had moved all your shit out of that house and then got big and bad? But see, no, you didn't do that. And she looking like, oh my God, I just done went off on this boy mama. Okay, she already floating on thin ice because she done sold the damn property to the enemy. And now she done went off on Lady May. Let me tell you, that bitch couldn't get out of my house fast enough. I can't wait until all of this stuff come down on Zora mama, because that's what she get. Because even though most of the stuff that she might have said about Lady May was right, bitch, you have no right to say anything. You've been sitting up here benefiting off of this family, but you feel like you should be the one to tell Lady May about herself. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Did I tell you guys about Charity going to dinner with Sidekick Phil? They go to dinner, and Sidekick Phil tells her that he is Bob Whitmore. And she's like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, everything that Bob Whitmore says in his sermons, all the books that he's written, that's all been me. I'm basically his ghostwriter. And she was like, well, why do you do that? And he says, just because I'm looking at the bigger picture, trying to get my message out there, in hopes, eventually one day that I'll be rewarded for it. You know, just your basic tap dancer for the master. So Sidekick Phil does all of these things because he feels like, you know, eventually he's going to be the one to run the church. That's how Bob is going to reward him. But I was just like, you're so dumb. He's never going to. He's got you under his thumb, and you just keep on doing more and more and more. But anyway, after this romantical dinner that they have, now all of a sudden Charity is all enamored. So now she's reading Bob Whitmore's book, you know, and she just rolls her eyes like, huh, like you wrote this. And then she goes back to the inside of the book, and oh, she's just smiling. She got her glass of wine. Okay, yeah, she'll be giving it to Sidekick Phil soon enough. And then finally, you guys, we see Grace. And she goes and tells Lady May that she needs to talk to her. You know, May was like, about what? And she says, about my son. And then Lady May just looks at her. I said, well, finally. Let's hope that it ain't too late that you done did this. But you should have been said something, girl. Should have been said something. All right, rock stars, let me get on back to work. Back in this damn office with that computer and that cloud and that budget and I got another week of this. And so next week is gonna be kind of fucked up too, kind of iffy, you guys. But then after that, we'll be back on track. That's the last thing of the year that always stresses me the fuck out. You guys know that. Y'all been with me so long. Rocky love y'all for sticking around all the time. Anyway, let me get off here. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.